It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather round. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for joining us for our landmark 40th season. We are your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Welcome to a Tuesday night live here on Racing Roundup Penn Central. It's our 40th season. Can't wait for you to join us on a Tuesday night. Come on down and join the racing crowd. We are live tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, right here in West Allis, across from the Milwaukee Mile Racetrack. We've got a lot of news and interviews planned for you tonight. Racing is in full swing already this springtime. We've got some results for you, some coverage of the Dell's Icebreaker with Bill Howland's in the Groove, and more on the program. The show is made possible for all these years by great supporters, including Polly's Pub and Eatery, where they have shuttles right now to the Brewers games. They got shuttles to all the concerts you ever want to go to. They just did a big Luke Combs concert this past weekend. Both nights they had lots of buses going there and back. Great way to avoid parking hassles and get right to the front door and right back here to Polly's on a given concert night or anytime the Brewers are in town on a home game. Even the Bucks, they can do that too. Find out more at pollyspubandEatery.com. This show is made possible by other great sponsors. We've had a long Foundation Specialists and the Midwest Truck Series for your support. We welcome new show sponsors that we always continue to highlight and share, and hopefully you guys can use their business and products as well, including Making the Cut Tree and Asphalt Services based in southeastern Wisconsin. Jiffy Lube with 14 statewide locations, and Diamond Racing Wheels among the sponsors on our program in 2024. Hey, we hope you enjoyed the first TV show. You guys watch it? CW18, our Saturday show is now on Saturdays at 11:30 on CW18. That started last week, so thanks again to Matt Rapita and all the guys and gals involved with making that possible. We're having a bunch of time. Tonight we're going to take part of our show and air it on Saturday morning at 11:30 on CW18. So that's going to be a standard deal going forward to hopefully get more people excited. And certainly great sponsors like HRP, Hafner Racing Products, and others are jumping on and saying we want to be part of that too. So thanks to them for their continued support as we launch our TV show every Saturday on CW18 in Milwaukee. Scheduled on our show tonight, IRA Sprints President Steve Sinclair previewing the spring trifecta that's coming up this Saturday night at BRAM Dirt Kings Tour. The Badger Midgets open their season, and it should be the second night of racing this weekend for the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint. So we'll talk to Steve about the big three-division race coming up this Saturday at Beaver Dam and the 2024 season. Wisconsin wingless sprint racer Austin Hansen, he's a ambassador for Victory Fuel flavored electrolyte drink. We love the stuff. We got some here thanks to the Hansen Motorsports team. We got some to give away after the show. We're going to talk to Austin and the guy who makes it, Kevin Swindell, the six-time champion of the Chili Bowl, whether it be 4 times in a row as a driver or 2 times as an owner. The last 2 Chili Bowl champions have gone to Kevin Swindell. Kevin has developed this product. We'll talk to Kevin live on our show via video here on this program, so that's going to be exciting and enjoyable to be part of. So we hope you're going to stick around for that as well. Bill Howland has complete coverage of the Dells Raceway Park Icebreaker event in this week's In the Groove segment. And when we come back, we're talking about a big Wisconsin NASCAR victory, and Mike Babbitts is here. Mike's got a big show this coming Saturday. Matter of fact, we're taking our entire show. Our first DeAngelo's Construction Road Show of the year is coming up this Saturday at the Bars 44th Annual Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show. It's in Waukegan at the Harbor and Marina. You'll find out more about that in a few moments. But Mike is here tonight to tell us all that's going on this Saturday. It's a free car show. We're taking our show there live at 11 o'clock this Saturday morning on our channels on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also certainly watch it on demand if you have other plans. But we'd love to have you down there for a great show in Waukegan. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Plus, we got news from the area and the world of motorsports in our Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. We have the Bonafide Security Short Track report. We've got a lot more to come. This is the first portion of our second show of our 40th season. We can't wait to have you join us here on a Tuesday night. We're coming right back after these words live from Polly's Pub and Eatery. Come back and join us.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control To award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care.
This work ethic through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Get ready to accelerate your productivity with the Midwest's largest forklift distributor. Walter Inc. offers top-tier brands including Lindy, Doosan, and Bobcat forklifts. With 17 locations across the Midwest, Walter is the go-to source for high-performance forklifts and material handling solutions, and is fueled by a passion for short-track racing. Count on Walter's 60-plus years of experience to increase your productivity. Walter is hiring too. Explore their unbeatable lineup of forklift solutions and more at walterinc.com.
Plan now to cruise Alaska with Making Memories Travel next September. Enjoy an unforgettable 7-day Alaskan cruise from Vancouver on the Norwegian Jade. Juneau and Hubbard Glacier are just two of the cities that await you. Hike up snow-capped mountains and witness majestic whales splash in the Pacific. Then come back on board to catch an amazing show, followed by a starlit stroll on the top deck. Breathtaking views, all the amenities, all the memories. Cruise Alaska. Contact Mark at Making Memories Travel today.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
And that is the voice of Dean Strom, who I will tell you successfully completed the Boston Marathon on a hand cycle on Monday, averaging 5 minutes and 10 seconds a mile. Did it in 2 hours and 15. Personal record. Congrats, Dean, on that, and hope to see him on an upcoming show. But I'm thinking that it's pretty exciting. And he actually had to go to the bullpen, if you will, on the way to the Boston Marathon for his hand cycle. He had it checked out by a local bicycle shop, and they said, hey, your frame's cracked. What do you do? Call their friend Jeff Wessel at HRP. Mike Sandholm dropped what he's doing, welded up the frame, and away Dean went to a personal record at the Boston Marathon. So congrats, and Jeff's here tonight. Kennedy's here tonight. Nice job, guys. Great work, team, on getting Dean all tuned up for the Boston Marathon. That was pretty cool that we got that figured out, and Dean made the right call and to HRP to help him with his bike. That's pretty cool. Hey, this portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Icon e-bikes go 25 miles per hour and go 25 miles between charges. And now selling Be Cooler on a BMRE electric scooter. Yeah, they got scooters. I saw them all over the place at the Dells Raceway Park. Brad Miller was on one of his very own. He is Wisconsin's only Icon electric cart dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. And coming up a little bit later on tonight in the show, we'll have on racer Kevin Swindell via live video. He's the originator of Victory Fuel, a drink fueled by electrolytes and charged with vitamins that is naturally sweetened and kid-friendly because there's no caffeine nor carbonation. Use this money-saving code when buying online. Log on to drinkvictory.com and type in SHOW, that's S-H-O-W, at checkout. And if you want to help out Austin Hanson and his race team, he has a code as well. We'll talk to him about being an ambassador. And you want to buy Root tires? They do. You want to help out that team? You want to get their code? We'll tell you more about that here on the program. This week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight features the efforts of over 40 years in short track racing as a sponsor, a scorer, announcer, liaison, event promoter, and more. Anderson's a proud sponsor and supporter of Wisconsin racers Bill Baylog and Jason Gross. Try it in your coffee or tea or on vanilla ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. Anderson's, over 95 years of syrup perfection. Anderson'sMapleSyrup.com. This week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Spotlight guest is Mike Babbitts, organizer of this Saturday's 44th Bars Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show in Waukegan. Hey, Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be up here. It's been a few years, but I'll tell you, it's also been a few years since we've had the racing show, and we're bringing it back. It's funny that this segment is sponsored by Anderson's, because Bill Baylog was kind enough to autograph a personally autographed bottle of the great syrup and send it to our house for my wife's birthday back in February.
Nice.
So we have been having the syrup with our waffles. It's
amazing.
Definitely the best.
Yep.
Definitely the best. And speaking of my wife, Kathy, of course she's here, and a very big supporter of the car show coming up on Saturday. But Mr. Jeff Wessel is here as well. We're going to try to get him on Saturday. He's working on it.
Well, we're doing a whole show. You got people lined up. We're going to be there talking to a bunch of people at the car show. How many cars are coming?
We are looking at between 50 and 75.
Whoa.
Between race cars and custom cars. I've been picking cars up every day.
We're not talking like Matchbox. We're talking about race cars, right?
No,
okay.
no.
Right. Yeah.
And it's funny also, when I mentioned my wife, Kathy, Faye Hendricks just took a picture of us.
Yep.
I think one of the last pictures that we had taken of us at Lake Geneva Raceway on our wedding day was by Faye.
Wow. You and your wife, not me and Mike. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, we are really excited about Saturday. We're doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you are.
We are having a bags tournament, and it's for fun. All the proceeds from the bags tournament are going to be split up among the youngsters, the kids that are there for the car show. We've got Colin Sivia's coming. We've got I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Lots of people coming.
Lots of people coming.
Yeah.
Lots of people coming, and lots of kids coming. So we're going to take whatever funds we make in the bags tournament is going to be split up among all the kids so they can use it for their racing this
nice.
coming season.
Cool.
Mackenzie Mall. That's the one I was thinking of. And also Egan's son is coming as well. So
Great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So you can come and play bags. We're also having a Ghost Racetracks reunion. Unfortunately, there are a few of those.
Yeah.
The most recent, of course, Rockford Speedway, and we're hoping some folks that have been at Rockford Speedway. I was lucky enough, the Dearies asked me to announce their second to the last show out there this last fall. So we hope some folks from Rockford come, Hales Corners, Waukegan, which is where I started.
Meadowdale, come on. Let's go way back machine.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We're going to see what we can find on Saturday. So we may have a lot of folks. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to get them all on your show, but we're going to work on it.
The cool thing is you're going to be with the in-crowd. There are going to be a lot of folks there milling about that are part of this track history, and if they didn't bring a race car, it'd be great to see them and talk to them.
Yeah, that's for sure. And even before the show starts, the show's going to be from 11 to 4, the actual show, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, there's a traditional Earth Day cleanup of the harbor area.
Okay.
So we're encouraging folks to come early. They will have all the supplies you need, and a nice event to be part of the community and giving back to the community. Robbie Kutzler has been fantastic to work with on this whole endeavor. This began with a phone call back in September of last year.
Okay.
I called him on a Tuesday. I said, "This is what I'd like to do, Robbie. Can we do a show at the harbor?" He says, "We got an agreement right now," on the phone. We met in person 2 days later and officially made the agreement. Kathy picked the date, and the reason she picked the date, I will confess, it's my birthday on Saturday.
I didn't know that. All right.
So she looked up there and she said, "We got to do it on the 20th.
All right. Cool.
So that's when we're doing it. I got to thank a lot of people that have helped put this all together. Steve Sinclair, that's with us, and the Interstate Racing Association, MLS Auto Clinic, A-Main Apparel, Bodycraft, Force One Performance, B&L Office Furniture, Grand Appliance and TV, Goodwin Performance, Jack's Helmets. I know you've had Jack's on before, I think, and had some of his helmets. Wilmot Raceway, which is taking care of all of the awards that we're going to be giving out. And I also got to mention Alan Taters Hafford, who's giving a special award that's going to go to one of the youngsters in memory of his late grandmother, Lois.
Wow.
And Larry Roebuck. Larry Roebuck has been, this is 44th. Mm-hmm. Larry has been in every one of those 44, either as a driver back at Waukegan Speedway with his race car, or as a supporter when he owned a mobile station in Waukegan as a sponsor, or just as a friend. And this Saturday, he's bringing his Chevelle custom car, his street car.
Nice.
So he's going to be in the show again.
Great.
Again, we want to thank them. O'Reilly's Auto Parts is going to have a display and going to be giving out a lot of free stuff. We're going to have a sign-up where folks can get free different things. So we're going to have race tickets to Wilmot. We're going to have some other things. Also, Whitmore Service has come on board and is working with us. And we're going to have a lady by the name of Barb Sistak. She owns the License Plate Garage in Mundelein, Illinois. If you want a vintage license plate, contact her. And she's going to have a display, and she's going to be visiting with folks in the vendor area. Greentown on the Rocks is all spit shined, ready to open up. They don't normally open until May. They're opening Saturday just for the car show.
Is that where we're hanging out?
That's where you're hanging out,
all right,
on the stage there. And then after we're off with Racing Roundup, Most Wanted with the singing chiropractor, Dr. Ken.
So it's a band.
It's a band.
Not a lineup. It's a band.
It's a band.
Okay.
They will be performing after the racing show is done. So,
nice.
I mean, we got everything
That's
going on.
cool.
And this is more than just come and walk around and look at cars.
So if you're a fan of like Lake Geneva Raceway, 151, we're talking Columbus 151, Adams Friendship Fairgrounds, Santa Fe, Raceway Park, Rockford, Hales Corners. I mean, if you want to hang out and bring out that fancy satin jacket you have from when you were a crew member on a team, this Saturday's the time to bring it out.
You just mentioned Adams Friendship. That was where, when I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, I saw my first race.
Wow.
The grandstands are still there that I sat in. They just redid them. They painted them and fixed them up a little bit. They still use them for the demolition derby that goes on at the fair. We go up there and visit from time to time to Cabins on the Lake, a nice group of people that have some nice cabins right on Friendship Lake there.
All right, so this is a leading question for you, Mike. I don't know if I have a chance to ask you on Saturday. As you bring up, you're sitting in the grandstands and watching those races. When you go back to that racetrack, and I have an example I'll share with you of my experience, what do you feel like when you walk back up and see those grandstands and you know there's no racing going on anymore, but the memories come flooding back?
Well, I actually had it was a relative of my mother's, through my grandmother, Tom White, raced there. And he was related to my grandmother and to my mother, and so in a roundabout way to me.
Yeah.
I remember watching him race. That's what I remember. Was Trickle there that night? Possibly, but I didn't know Dick Trickle there.
Yeah.
And I don't have it secured, but there may be a very neat car as one of the cars that is there on this Saturday.
They're all going to be cool.
They're all going to be cool, but this one is going to be really cool if they can logistically work it out. It's coming.
All right.
But I'm not going to tell you whose car it is.
Tease, your big tease. Hey, so my quick story about racetrack is Cedarburg had a racetrack, if you didn't know that. It closed, I think, in 1980 or 81. What year was it? 81, Fag? 79, 78, 78? So they would race there on Wednesday nights with all the guys that raced at Hales Corners, and I grew up at Hales Corners Speedway. And I know that grandstand is still there. I remember sitting on the middle of there's a backrest halfway up. And our friends, the Trabers, who are Al Teachin's nephews, they would walk down and save with blankets those seats. So I remember sitting on those seats in the grandstands every Wednesday night once school got out, because you can't go before school's out. So it's weeknight or school night. But I loved watching races at Cedarburg Speedway, and that racetrack is long gone. But the stands are still there. So when they have Maxwell Street days or when the vintage modifieds roll up there, I always look around to see if my spot is still there, and it's still there. And it's kind of a cool memory, but it's also kind of sad in a lot of ways.
Well, and from time to time, Kathy and I do ride by the area where Lake Geneva Raceway was at. It is now a retirement community, which ironically, that's what I do for my day job, 3 days a week at Libertyville Manor. There's also a church on the grounds now. But the trees, if all of you remember the house as you came in, there was a house on the left or the west side, and there was a lot of oak trees that kind of went around that house. The house is long gone. The trees are all still there. And the people that built I'm getting emotional. The people that built the senior facility have guaranteed that those trees will stay.
Really? Wow.
Kevin Dawson and I, when you walk into that senior facility, I happen to be in it one day. They have a room to relax in. It's a racing room. It's got pictures of racing. The only problem is the people there didn't realize the kind of racing that went on at Lake Geneva, because the pictures are of Mario Andretti and Indy cars and all this kind of stuff. And so Kevin is willing to give them some of the photos, and I am, from Lake Geneva, so that they have a little bit more of the history of what they are sitting on, the grounds that they are sitting on.
Yeah.
It was funny, the first time I was there, they were still building the place. And I walked in, I was talking to one lady who was from the Lake Geneva area, and I told her I used to announce at Lake Geneva, got married there, yada, yada, yada. Talked to another lady who was not from Lake Geneva. And when I said racetrack, she asked me, did they run quarter horses? And the other lady just looked at me and laughed, and we both said, well, it's a little bit different kind of horsepower that used to be there. It was not quarter horses. So, but yeah, it is sad that some of the things have gone away. It's just, but that's one of the reasons why I do this show.
Yep.
We want to get new race fans. We want to get people that have never been to a race. Great Lakes Dragaway. I just met with Randy on the way up here. I know he's a supporter of your program.
Long time.
Well, tomorrow night I'm bringing back my podcast on 21.6 The Net at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and Randy just agreed to be a marketing sponsor of it.
Great.
So we will have a segment and talk drag racing. Steve Sinclair is also supporting it, so we will talk some IRA racing. Obviously, this week we'll talk about the car show and the support that Wilmot Raceway is giving us. So, that's tomorrow night, 6 to 7 o'clock, 21.6 The Net, and it's going to be set up very similar to your show where, you can play it back whenever. So we'll be looking forward to that. And that's starting tomorrow. As a matter of fact, my latest guest is sitting right out there. Now I really put the pin on him. He can't back out now.
Logan Julian. He actually was here last week at our show. He's coming. He came back again tonight, and now he's going to be in your show tomorrow. Great.
Yeah, and he's going to be on mine tomorrow. And I guess he was on with Chatty Matty on Monday, I guess.
Rookie of the year, hopeful in the bumper-to-bar IRA.
He's making the circuit, and he hasn't even turned a lap yet.
That's the way to do it. Got to talk it up before you do it.
That's right. So, and one other thing that I want to mention, because it is very special to me, a week from this coming weekend, I'm blessed to be a guardian on the Lake County Honor Flight. I'm going to be escorting a veteran who is 90-plus years old, Air Force veteran from the Cold War, and we're going to be going out Friday the 26th, and we come back on Sunday the 28th. We're actually in this neck of the woods. We leave and come back to Mitchell. So anybody that's not doing anything Friday afternoon about 2-ish, if they want to come up to Mitchell to send off the veterans. And then Sunday we'll be back into Mitchell at about probably 6-ish, somewhere in there.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
All right.
Again, come up to Mitchell and just welcome them home.
I have actually been in the airport at the same time as the incoming honor flight twice now. I'm flying a different plane, come in, and I see all the balloons. I hear the band, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I got to see this. And it's amazing. If you have a chance, it's a wonderful way to welcome home our veterans from a long day where they got to see their buddies' names on walls and they got to share their memories, but also as they get older, this could be the last time they got to see their friends, and they're all together celebrating with these honor flights, which is a great effort, and I encourage you to do that as well.
Yeah, we've actually had our pace car from Wilmot as part of the escort this last fall. Larry Roebuck he's a Vietnam vet. He was on the flight, and his son, Matt, who used to race and owns Goodwin Performance, was his guardian.
Ah, cool.
So we surprised Larry, and we had the Bodycraft pace truck at 4:30 in the morning, Jim, as part of the escort. And but that's what you do when you're friends with someone in racing.
Yep, big time. This coming Saturday, April 20th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the length of the 44th annual Bars Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show. It is in Waukegan at the Harbor and Marina. The address is on our website. Go to racingroundupshow.com and look on our schedule page, or you can jot this down now. The address is 55 South Harbor Place in Waukegan. You can find that on a map pretty quickly. We also have a link on our website. You can click on that. It'll pull the map up for you. It's about an hour from Muskego where I live, so it's not that far. It's right over the border.
And you can also have some more nostalgia if you come in off of Washington instead of Grand.
Yeah.
You're going to go by the entrance to Waukegan Speedway, and there is still a pole with the remnants of the old Milwaukee sign still hanging on it. That was at the entrance to Waukegan Speedway.
What road is it on? Washington?
Washington.
All right, I'm going on. I got to go Washington. On the way there.
And you can take Washington all the way to the lake. So, and to enter the show, it is free. Robbie's getting all nervous when I told him we could have 75 cars because he doesn't know where we're going to put them all and still have room for the folks coming to watch and look at the cars. So please do email me, Michael Babbitts at AOL.com, and let me know you're coming.
With a car.
With a car.
Yep.
I mean, if you're coming to be a spectator, that's great. I don't really need to know that. But if you're coming with a race car or you're coming with a custom car, please let me know that so that we can make sure we got enough space for everybody.
And what time do you want them there by?
I would like them there. Well, I want them to come to help with the cleanup.
Okay.
But I know racers don't like to get up that early in the morning
yet.
But this is one time, you know.
All right.
So the cleanup starts at 8. You don't have to be there at 8. I would like you there sometime between 10 and 10:30 so we can get you parked. We got a system worked out. You're going to come in one road, Mathon Drive. For those of you that remember Mathon's in Waukegan, you're going to come down Mathon Drive. You'll unload your car, and then you're going to drive around and go into another parking lot that we've got all set up for the trailers and the haulers. I mean, this is our first time here, but it ain't our first rodeo. So,
yep. Hey, speaking of, when you were teasing earlier about the car that might be there, might not be there, my son just texted. He said, you got to be talking about the Wienermobile. Is that the car we can talk about?
No.
Because it's in town. He just saw it.
Well,
all right.
It might show
be.
up.
Okay, nothing's off the table. All
Nothing's off the table.
All right.
And now I know that you like to give things away.
We do, yes.
And so after this break, I don't know how close we are to one.
We're getting close.
We're getting close. Okay, one thing I brought is the Bars Racing Show hat.
An official hat for this
official
weekend's
hat,
event.
thanks to Eddie and Debbie Boyd of MLS Automotive in Paddock Lake. They sponsored all of these hats. Now, normally to get one of these hats, you have to be in the show.
Okay.
You have to have a vehicle in the show.
All right.
But tonight, if after we sign or I sign off and I get down there, you come up and you tell me why I'm wearing the color pants that I'm wearing. The first person that comes up and tells me, you will get the hat.
I can verify he is wearing pants.
I am wearing pants. Honest, Kathy, I'm wearing pants. And the other thing we have is there is a picture over here. There is a picture of a race car. If you can tell me, number one, the name of the driver that's driving this car, number two, what racetrack it is, you have tickets to Wilmot Raceway.
Wow. All right.
If you don't tell me, I need tickets. No. But if you can, you got to tell me both. You got to tell me both. If you tell me the name of the driver and what racetrack, I'm not going to make you tell me the year because that would really be putting the heat on you.
2 tickets to Wilmot Raceway on the line.
2 tickets to Wilmot Raceway. Right. We're opening up May 4th. We are going to have a practice Saturday, and I want to thank Steve Sinclair and Tony Jenkins, all of the IRA cars that come to the car show. If we get any 410s, I know we've got wingless coming, and lightning sprints. Tony's going to be there to safety tech them, so if they want to take off after the car show and go and practice at Wilmot, they'll be able to do that.
Nice.
And we've got a lot of bandits coming. Scott from B&L Office Furniture told me last night that they've been going crazy on their chat page. We will probably have enough bandits to have 2 heats and a feature tomorrow on Saturday.
We're looking forward to being there for sure.
I'm excited. I really appreciate this because your coming has added a lot more. I appreciate that and congratulate you because I've known you. You and I have talked about this for a long time.
Yep.
And when I hear your voice at Daytona and I hear Dean's voice at Daytona and other tracks, it's hey, I know those guys. I've announced with those guys.
Yeah.
Remember the night that there was like 7 of us that announced at Hales Corner Speedway for a sprint car race?
Yeah, and then that one night they gave me a wireless microphone that had no battery in it. That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but we go back a little ways. We had a little different color hair.
And more of it, yep.
Yep, and probably a little less weight, I'm not sure.
Well, he's Mike Babbitts. I'm Jim Trado. Thanks for joining us on this segment. Let's give it a hand for Mike Babbitts joining us here today.
Thank you,
he's
everybody.
the host on Saturday, so don't think we'll have a chance to talk to him then, but we want to thank you for your time tonight. And good luck on winning these prizes. We have more prizes to give away after the show. We'll tell you about some of those prizes up for grabs here on our next segment. We're coming right back with more on the world of motorsports when it comes to the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series. Steve Sinclair's in the house. He's running the show. They start this Friday night up near La Crosse, and then they come on Saturday to the big spring trifecta at Beaver Dam Raceway. We'll be right back on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Repairing and installing new asphalt pavement takes time and expertise. Making the Cut is ready to take on your next paving project. From start to finish, maintain, repair, or new paving for your home or business, the Racer's Choice is Making the Cut Asphalt Services. Making the Cut also offers patchwork, crack fill, and seal coat maintenance services. No matter the job size, across Wisconsin, Making the Cut Asphalt Services is ready to roll with their team of experts. To request a free estimate, visit mtcasphalt.com or call 414-750-2525 today.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Precise Auto and Truck Accessories is your one-stop shop when it comes to adding style and functionality to your vehicles. Owner and late model racer Mike Grunberg has 15 years of experience installing window tinting, cat skin leather, seat heaters and seat coolers. There's a million accessories available. Ladder racks, trailer hitches, detailing, remote starters, and more. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells is a WeatherTech Diamond dealer. Bring your vehicle to the trusted guy, Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Looking forward to seeing you here on a Tuesday night for the Racing Roundup Show. We're hanging out at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Hey, if you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose the Rapina Group. They're with Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. They list and buy anything you want to buy or sell. They can do it with you with the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Hire them because they can list and buy with confidence. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with the Rapina Group. Rapina Group has knowledge. They have the power. They have the ability. to buy or sell your home or commercial property, look them up on our famous worldwide web, rapinagroup.com. Our friend Matt Rapina and his group can get it together for you, buy or sell any home or commercial property. We have prize giveaways after the show tonight at Paulie's, including bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, a set of 4 tickets to race at Dell's Raceway Park on any Saturday night, car washes from Full Service Car Wash. It's an original third-generation family-owned company. They operate in Milwaukee as a small business. They've been around since 1986. Unlimited car washes start at $14.99 a month. Full-service car wash is the best deal for keeping your car clean, with locations at Hills Corners, Wauwatosa, Grafton, and West Bend. We also have some racing T-shirts and die-cast cars, racing hats, and collectibles from Greenfield Gallery on Facebook, where they're always buying in racing collections. We also have some Victory Fuel from Austin Hanson and Hanson Motorsports to hand out tonight, and some IRA T-shirts from our friend Steve Sinclair, who's our next guest on the program. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report, and we got to tell you that Interstate Batteries is proudly the #1 replacement battery in North America. Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Interstate Batteries is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Got to give it up for Franklin, Wisconsin's Sam Mayer for winning the NASCAR Xfinity Series race on Saturday night. I tell you what, that was a thrilling finish. He didn't lead the last 17 of 18 laps that Ryan Sieg guy did, but guess what Sam did? He put the pedal down and with conviction said, I need to get to the bottom of 3 and 4. Got there, went to the outside. Sieg gave him a run on the inside, and he won by .002 seconds, which is about 1 inch. That picture's amazing. I couldn't believe the finish. And Sam Mayer is a winner for the first time this year. It's his 5th overall Xfinity Series win, but man, what a big win for him after coming off a near win at Martinsville. Texas Motor Speedway is no slouch of a place to get around, and Sam Mayer brought home the big victory on Saturday in the Xfinity Series race. Congrats to Sam and the entire Junior Motorsports team. Rhinelanders Parker Retzlaff finished 22nd. Menominee Falls resident Josh Blicky 29th, and Josh is back in the car, the number 92 Chevy, for DGM Racing at Talladega this coming weekend. He'll have a teammate at DGM. Natalie Decker of Eagle River will be in the number 36. And there's big news last week at the CW Network. That's where we have our Saturday shows. The CW Network will now carry the last 8 races of the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. They had been signed up to start in February at Daytona this coming February. But NBC said, hey, if they want the last 8 races, we'll give it to them this year. NBC will produce them. Rick Allen will be in the booth. It's going to be kind of cool to have Steve Letarte and Jeff Burton calling those races on the CW Network. So the same network we're on Saturdays at 11:30. We'll have the last 8 Xfinity Series races of 2024 starting on Friday night, September 20th. Foretelling a few weeks ago as NBC's announced that they were bringing in Lee Diffie to call cup races at the end of the season, and Rick Allen was just going to be going play-by-play for the Xfinity Series, so we'll see where he goes. As you know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is no longer part of NBC. Rick Allen may soon announce where he is headed at season's end, or maybe he'll be part of that whole last 8 races. Thank you, Rick. See ya. I was part of the speed coverage of the NASCAR Truck Series and as well as the ARCA Menard Series back when Rick Allen got his NBC deal. He didn't finish that season with us at Speed. He ended up moving on to NBC before the season's end. So we'll see how that shakes out for that team and the wonderful world of auto racing on television. After Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race, winner Chase Elliott did a Polish victory lap. Did you guys see that? That was pretty cool. It was the first time in the Hooters-sponsored colors since Allen won at Pocono in '92 with a Hooters car. And Chase was really eloquent afterward. He said, man, the first thing I want to do is honor Allen. I've been thinking about it for a long time. His sponsor, my dad, how they raced for the championship back in the day. It was really cool, and the fans went crazy. His first win in 42 races for Chase Elliott on Sunday for Hendrick Motorsports, differing pit strategies and what Elliott called the Brad Keselowski strategy. I mean, that was all part of the plan. It was a season-best effort. Second for Keselowski, ahead of William Byron, Tyler Reddick, and Daniel Suarez. Former Pewaukee, Wisconsin resident Jimmy Johnson finished 29th, 1 spot ahead of Denny Hamlin, who spun in dirty air while racing for the lead late in the race, and Denny actually admitted he was trying too hard and spun out on his own. Denny Hamlin does not often do that, but I'm glad he was able to say, hey, I was going for the win. I knew my car wouldn't hold. I had to give it, and I gave it all mine. It didn't work. In Friday night's Truck Series race at Texas Motor Speedway, Ty Majeski raced at 10th, with Johnny Sauter's return to the NASCAR Truck Series Friday, ending up in 17th on the last truck on the lead lap. At Texas, Kyle Busch raced with 2 of his young protege drivers for the win. Raced past them both and won it. Corey Heim was the driver he passed the last. Okay, Chris Janekis in a brief 3-way battle was really exciting for the lead, but that was with a handful of laps remaining. Busch pulled away. It was Busch's 4th straight Texas Truck Series race win that he's entered in. Majeski lost the point lead and is now 12 points behind Heim in 3rd in the standings. It's off to Talladega this weekend for the NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series. We have a new sponsor called Making the Cut Tree Service. I want to tell you that they are experts and are busy in southeast Wisconsin. Now's a great time to get a free estimate on tree trimming and pruning, tree removal, brush chipping, or lot clearing. Visit their website, mtctree.com. It's now time to bring in this week's show to single out an individual who's making the cut. And I'm telling you, it's pretty exciting to know that as we bring in our next guest, this will be a portion of our Saturday show. You can catch us Saturday morning, CW18 at 11:30 a.m. We now bring in our next guest. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. We're hanging out here on a beautiful Tuesday evening. Catch our show on a Tuesday night if you can. We're now going to welcome in a gentleman who's got over a quarter of a century involved with the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series, the president of the Interstate Racing Association, Steve Sinclair. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We're glad you're here.
32 years.
30. I knew it was over 25.
32 years.
Now, how'd you get started? I need to ask you that because every now and then I'm like, I wonder how Steve got involved and how you got way involved like you are now.
Well, my dad built engines for a bunch of different cars. He was a Great Lakes Dragway Superstock champion in 1957.
Wow.
So there was always different kinds of race cars in the family garage, and whether it be, a lot of road racing stuff when I was young. But he was my mom actually owned a midget that ran at Joliet Stadium.
No way.
Back in the late 50s, and then I started doing some midget stuff with my dad. We traveled around with a guy named Bruce Field, who won several USAC races. We ran second at the Belleville Midget Nationals in 1984.
That's saying something.
And so I was hanging around, and then he started building some sprint motors, and here we are.
Wow.
Hooked.
I got to tell you, when Steve Sinclair, who now spent some time in Florida, hit me up because I was doing public address at the Rolex 24 at Daytona this past January, he said, hey, I'm going to pop over. I'm like, okay. You want to hang out? He's like, yeah, I want to see what's going on because I was here way back when.
Yes.
When were you there most recently before you saw me in January?
At the SCCA National Runoffs, 1969. Camaro my dad built. We ran third.
Wow.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we drove. It was my dad. The driver was Jerry Lagarde, and me. The three of us in the front seat of a pickup truck towing a race car to Daytona, and it was cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things changed a little bit since then.
Yes.
You and I were watching the Porsches go by and the factory this and the factory that. And we're like, okay, that's this guy. That's the Penske cars. My goodness, that was fun.
No, that was neat, and I appreciate you educating me on some things there. And I went to all the NASCAR stuff there. I was at all the races there, and the rain date and the whole deal.
Well, I know you've got a busy schedule. There's two logos on your shirt, Bumper to Bumper IR Outlaw Sprint Series, and also the K&K Insurance business. That keeps you hopping too, doesn't it? You're a national representative when it comes to insurance at a lot of different things.
Yeah, I got I think like 162 different racetracks and series that I personally take care of for K&K. Yesterday alone, I was at Jacksonville Speedway. They got a World of Outlaw show coming up. And the Outlaws wanted me to look at it and make sure it was ready. And I had a little list of 10 things I thought they needed to get fixed up before then. So I went there. I went to Lincoln Speedway in Illinois. I went to Central Illinois Dragway. I went somewhere else, too. I forget. Brownstown Speedway, I think.
That's a lot of work.
Then last week I was at Terre Haute and Lincoln Park and Kokomo and a bunch of them.
We're hanging out with Steve Sinclair on the Racing Roundup Show, a busy guy. Talk about 32 years now at the helm of the IRA, a bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints. There's also the IRA Lightning Sprints that are sanctioned. They race around the central Wisconsin area, southern Wisconsin area. You also got the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints as part of the IRA sanction. There's a lot going on, and the season is here, Steve.
Yes.
You guys have done some exciting new things this year with the IRA schedule.
Yeah. Well, with the All-Stars not being there, there is a little bit of a void. And I've actually had more opportunities come up since we released our schedule. So we'll be talking to some teams soon and maybe see if we can rearrange a couple things because a couple really big opportunities are possibly tracks are wanting IRA to be involved in like co-sanctions.
Gotcha.
And stuff.
So the All-Star Circuit of Champions that Tony Stewart owned was sold to Kyle Larson and his brother-in-law Brad Sweet to develop the High Limit Sprint Car Series, which is really a level where they're paying higher purses. It's going kind of at the level of the World of Outlaws. And the All-Stars had a place. The IRA has a place. The World of Outlaws have a place. And High Limit is carving out that space, which is really leaving opportunities in Ohio, Indiana, tracks, series, teams that may not want to race against the World of Outlaws every week, but maybe race with the IRA.
Yes. The High Limit thing was more – Flo couldn't afford to pay what High Limit wanted. So they by buying the All-Stars, they took that portion
that's how it went
with
down.
them.
Okay.
And they got some of the bigger races on the All-Star schedule stuck around and became High Limit races.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it worked.
How does that affect you in the IRA schedule? Because I know at times, like for the Knoxville Nationals, the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints generally don't have races scheduled near there, or it's a convenience because it's not going to race on that big weekend.
Yeah, we choose
nearby.
not to purposely so our teams can participate if they want to, and a lot of them that don't participate go watch. You can always learn, and hanging out at Knoxville is a great thing, and Steve Sinclair will never miss a Knoxville Nationals, I'll tell you that. So, we're not racing that weekend ever. It's not happening.
But the neat thing about that is you give the guys a chance to take a breath, or if they want to compete, or if they want to go spectate, they can do that.
Yep.
Your schedule's filling up quickly. I just noticed the announcement this week. Road America and Plymouth Dirt Track are having a great event. Again, this summer, I should say. It's coming up quick. June 8th and 9th is the IndyCar weekend at Road America. Just announced is once again the return of the Road America Challenge at Plymouth Dirt Track, featuring the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints on IndyCar weekend. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we co-promote that with Sheboygan County Fair people as well as Road America, and work together on a ticket package. Having Mike Kircher, the president of Road America, being a sprint car guy does not hurt. But it's a neat deal. They were bringing them by the busloads a couple of years ago, and we were fortunate enough. We had Chase Briscoe racing because it was NASCAR sanctioned. And now with the IndyCar thing, it's hard to say, but they're really excited about it. They think a bunch of IndyCar guys are going to come over. So, that's all good.
Where can we find out more about the Interstate Racing Association schedule? I know there's a lot of races in Wisconsin we want to make sure people get to.
Well, each one of our series has a separate website. So the 410s are at IRAsprints.com. The wingless are WisconsinWingless.com, and the Lightning Sprints are IRALightningsprints.com. And then we're all kicking off at different times, too. So the 410s at, if the weather holds out, Mississippi Thunder, which is a really, really cool 3/8 just north of La Crosse. That's Friday. Of course, Beaver Dam Saturday. Then the wingless kick off the following Saturday at Plymouth. And then the Lightning Sprints kick off first week of May at Wilmot.
So if you're watching us on CW 18 right now, tonight is a big 3-division race at Beaver Dam Raceway. Go to IRAsprints.com to find out more information about the big spring trifecta. Our late models, Badger Midgets, and the bumper-to-bumper IR Outlaw Sprints are all at Beaver Dam Raceway tonight. We'll see you there. Thanks for joining us on the show. That was our TV portion, Steve. Was that exciting?
I figured where you were going there at the end.
Yeah.
I was kind of paying attention to the clock. You got a clock up here now, guys.
I do. It's a big one. See? Right there.
It's like a little Christmas tree. I was waiting for the lights to change.
It's kind of an anxiety machine for me, though, because I got to make sure our timing is right, because we want to make sure we can get everything we can in these half-hour TV shows. And it's the neat thing about it, Steve, is once you get on network television where people get to see it and feel it, and you've been involved, we should also let people in on this, that Steve has been in the booth on the headset with the TV truck when the World of Outlaws were on TNN. He's been in the booth, in the TV truck, in the headset, up in the tower to interface with the Chili Bowl race interface for a lot of years. There's a lot more to it. So it's exciting that, we're doing this TV thing, but in reality, you've had a great opportunity to be part of that over years to kind of make sure the show's going and you're interfaced with that, and there's a lot more to it.
And a lot of wild things happen. We were at the Chili Bowl one year, and a gentleman right in front of the press box had a heart attack right as we went live.
No.
Right as we went live on Saturday night. Boom.
Wow.
And then last year, doing the SRX thing, I was the ESPN producer was right next to me for all those. And
yeah. You were race director, right?
I was.
All right.
I was. Yeah, it was pretty neat. I'm definitely missing that.
Yeah.
This year.
I think we all are.
I
it's
think
kind of a cool thing.
It might come back. They gave me a call the other day.
All right.
So we'll see.
SCCA now owns SRX.
Skip Barber.
I'm sorry. What did I say? SCCA?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It is Skip Barber Racing School. I apologize.
And Skip Barber supplied all the trucks and trailers and the crews. So that probably makes sense. It's a good tie. Probably.
And it's two brothers that are now part of that build of Skip Barber Racing School, and they've got a lot of great new ideas. And they brought Don Hawk in from where it was developing SRX.
Yeah, I talked to Hawk the other day. Yep.
Talk to Hawk. Just dropping names, talking to people. Let's talk more about the schedule.
Yes.
I know that the Codas are back on the schedule. I know that there's races that are, for people who are watching the show online, they could be going anywhere. They could be visiting. They could be going, to Wyoming for camping. But now, hey, wait a minute. There's a weekend in North Dakota. I can go race and watch racing. That's kind of cool.
It's really turned into something special. And I think it actually helped the group as a whole. We all hang out at the same hotel for that week. The camaraderie it brought the teams together. It was a good thing. It's a long drive. I'm not kidding you, but they treat us really well, and it's a good mix with the local racers, the NOSA racers, Northern Outlaw Sprint Association. They're pretty equal to us,
And you
it's
have
a pretty good little mix.
2 races, right? Friday and Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday?
We got a Thursday
Thursday.
Norman County Raceway in Minnesota, and then 2 days at River City Speedway. So it's a 3-day swing.
Okay.
And then we're doing a 4-day swing with the new Maverick series out of Indianapolis area. They've only run 1 race to date.
Wow.
But they had 60-some cars show up at it.
Danny Smith won a race with that series last year. Holy cow.
No, not that one.
It wasn't that one?
No.
I thought I had my facts right. Dang it.
No, the Maverick series.
You would know.
Cale Thomas won.
All right.
Bill Baylog was second, and Brenham Crouch was third. So IRA was well
I
represented.
think Danny might have run last year. I think he might have won one last year.
There was only 1 race. They've only ran.
What happened last year?
They ran 1 race.
That's it?
Period.
Oh, okay. All right. I stand corrected. Well, Danny Smith is still racing and still winning.
He runs at that fast group, and there's the Ohio Valley Sprint Association.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Danny's won races now, what for 5 or 6 decades?
At least, yeah. Hey, thanks for bringing a couple of IRA T-shirts. We're going to give those away after the show.
Yes.
What's the shirt you're hanging on to right here all about?
So, IRA, we're like our own little family, and we have 3 women that play major roles with IRA that are all battling different ailments.
Okay.
So Gracie Cleveland is a young girl that helped us out last year a bunch. I believe she's got a form of leukemia she's dealing with. And then Stacy Hoff Farms, I think she's got a similar issue. And then Kim Tennyson's been fighting a lung issue for forever here. So the Hoffs, they sponsor our Bullring Showdown deal at Plymouth. So this is kind of we're going to be pushing these at the
that's cool,
out of their trailer to try and get some money for all, and they're going to donate some back to Gracie and everything. And it's tough.
Yeah.
They all play big roles with us. And,
will you have those available this Saturday or this Friday at the racetrack?
Yes,
all
absolutely.
Right. So Friday is Mississippi Valley Thunder.
Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
See,
come on,
I knew
now.
I'd get it right. I'm getting way off track here. I'm getting excited to talk to you.
Fountain City, Wisconsin. More known
I knew there's
for
a city in there.
More known for late models. They have a 3-day World of Outlaw late model show coming up a couple weeks. But it's an awesome place. We ran there in 2012. Baylog won. Brooke Tatnell, Travis Whitney were the top 3. I think the only guy that races with us now that was probably at that, or Scotty Neitzel and Steve Meyer. They were probably there last time, and they plan on coming back. Really cool place. Hopefully the weather turns around. If not, we will reschedule that because that place is worth going to. And then of course Beaver Dam, and we got a very busy schedule.
Yeah. So this Saturday, let's get into the nuts and bolts of that. Gates open at 2:30, racing at 5:30. Gates might open a little before that, but in reality, get there early in the afternoon. Beaver Dam Raceway was washed out tonight for their Tuesday show. But in reality, this is going to be a big deal. Takes a lot of time to coordinate this too, doesn't it?
It's an expensive night for them as well. With those 3 pretty significant purses, it takes a lot. Yes, and I would pay attention to your Facebook and all that stuff in case it moves up earlier, like another hour, to try and take advantage of the warmer temperatures.
Stop raking the twigs in the yard at noon. Get in the car and go.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yep. That's pretty exciting.
And I hope we get it in because I wanted to go to Plymouth the following week and hang out with our wingless guys and get them off. And there's some neat things there. I want to tell them about. We got some new sponsors and stuff for that series too. So
great.
It's a lot of good things happening. Just got to try and put it all together.
Wisconsin Wingless has grown to a really solid group of traveling drivers and teams.
Yes, I'm very excited with it may be split up a little bit this year. They're doing some other things at Wilmot. It's going to hurt it a little bit, but all in all, I'm happy. You don't have to have 40. You can put on a hell of a show with mid-20s and guys that want to be with you. So that'll be good.
And Steve, when it comes to racing, you mentioned the socials. When do you guys put the messaging out? What's the current model you use? Is it send it to this Facebook page? Where should we kind of clue in on that? Because we all want to be there. We want to support it. We want to certainly get the word out. If I can't be there and it says, hey, we're moving up an hour, I want to get that out and share it with everybody I can.
Well, you got to remember, I'm 64 years old now, Jim.
That's why I'm asking what the today model is.
I look at Facebook, I guess.
Okay.
We have a Twitter. We have Instagram. I don't even know how to get on that stuff. So
you have people, though.
Yeah, Cody Tennyson kind of runs all that for us. He teaches racetracks how to score for a living. He works for My Race Pass. Most people know him as Dakota.
Okay.
But he's kind of the right hand. He's good at all that stuff. Facebook, I think, is probably the fastest way. And like tomorrow morning, we'll talk to Mississippi Thunder and get a game plan. because we got, if a team doesn't have to take off work,
Yep.
they, save a work day and change their schedule around, being a Friday
That's
show.
in Fountain City, by the way. It's Mississippi Thunder Speedway. We got to get that right. 'cause
Directly
if you heard it,
across
if
the
you heard it
street
wrong,
from the Mississippi River. It's kind of actually by Winona, Minnesota.
All right.
It's the Wisconsin side of Winona.
Gotcha.
But it's an awesome place. Awesome.
Glad you guys get there with some cool tracks and get some cool
Well, we
things
do.
going.
We got 19 different tracks on the 410 schedule this year.
Wow.
6 states, 19 different tracks, 34 races.
Wow.
And with more opportunities to come. I mean, I got a call yesterday. I had to pull over on the side of the road and think about that one. How can I make this happen?
Yeah.
'Cause it's a big one. It's a big deal.
We'd like you back on the show when things happen, whether it be the schedule you're proud of or having drivers on. We certainly want to make it involved, and it's part of why we do this show. We want to thank you for your support of our show all these years as well.
Well, I appreciate it. I got to make sure I plug Bumper to Bumper. They've been with us for a long time, and if you add what they've given us each year, it's up to like $750,000 they've invested in IRA. And I got HRP in the back. I want to thank you guys for all you do for us. Appreciate it. You're on a new T-shirt. You see them? You're on it. There you go. There's more coming.
Cool.
Troy Hefner's a former IRA feature winner as well. And then you got, everybody knows Jeff. So
Yep.
I got to thank the Hansons. What a beautiful race car they got sitting outside right there. Their wingless car.
We're
Beautiful.
talking to Austin here in a little bit.
Yep. Rookie of the Year candidate Logan Julian sitting over there.
IRA putting the wing on, get the big motor in. Yep. Got 3 cars ready, right, Brian? 3 cars are ready.
He told me he was waiting on for some motors, but as long as he's got his 410 motors, I could give a damn about the other ones, man. Sell them things, man. They're boat anchors.
Can you tell we have a little bit of fun on a Tuesday night? How about a big hand for Steve Sinclair? Steve, thanks for being on.
A lot.
Really appreciate it. Make sure you sign up Bob Trader, sign writer, backdrop as well.
Absolutely.
We'll get your autograph on there. And we got Kevin Swindell and Austin Hansen lined up in our next segment. Stick around. This is the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE-trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
Organized like the pros with Hefner Racing Products. Take your trailer to the next level. Upgrade your garage, streamline your shop. Whether you're tearing up the track or tackling home projects, Hefner Racing Products has you covered with the best made and widest variety of organizational accessories made right here in Wisconsin. Shop online now at hrpracing.com.
Power Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
We're hanging out with you on a Tuesday night this coming Saturday. I'd like to remind you again, there's a couple things going on in our world. We're live on 11 a.m. on our channels. Facebook Live, our YouTube page on RacingRoundupShow.com. We're going to be live at the Bar's 44th Annual Let's Go Motorsports Show and Custom Car Show. That's in Waukegan. We're also going to be live on, not live, but part of our show tonight will be on Tuesday. Tuesday's show will be on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on CW18. It's a half-hour show. We'll do every week of our Tuesday programs all the way through the beginning of October. So looking forward to having you involved in one of our shows upcoming here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, which is supported by Pathfinder Chassis and Widener Automotive. Congrats to Chester Ace, the winner of the Icebreaker 50 on Saturday at Dells Raceway Park. For series info and their 2024 racing schedule, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com or join us on April 30th when we have Chester Ace with us for the Racing Roundup Show. Here's another reminder to set your DVR and support your local racing. On Saturday, our TV show airs at 11:30 a.m. on CW18 in Milwaukee. Join us for our first DeAngelis Construction Road Show of the season. That's this Saturday, April 20th at 11 a.m. It's the Bar's Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show at the Waukegan Harbor and Marina. We'll be live at 11 with a bunch of folks. That a bunch of 50 to 75 cars will be there as well. We are live here on the Racing Roundup program. Welcome back to our show. We're excited to have you with us on this Tuesday night. Hope you get the chance to see us on a Tuesday program. We're right now going to be joined on this program by a driver who's won 4 consecutive Chili Bowl Midget Nationals. He's also won the last 2 as an owner and mechanic of his own car at the Chili Bowl with Logan Seavey driving. Let's welcome in a world-famous driver, Kevin Swindell. Kevin, thanks for joining us on the show.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Really good. We also have Austin Hanson with us as well. Austin's one of the Victory Fuel ambassadors. He's going racing here in a big way, Kevin. It's exciting to know you guys are kind of teammates here when it comes to Victory Fuel and something you developed, Kevin. We'll start with you first. How did you get in the mind of saying, I want something that's healthy, something that's not carbonated, something that doesn't have a bunch of energy drink stuff to it. It's really good for you. It can hydrate you, electrolytes, vitamins. Where did you guys come up with the idea for Victory Fuel?
Yeah, it was a long time of kind of a lot of different ideas, and honestly just my lifestyle changed once I got hurt and couldn't do a lot of that stuff that I could before, and kind of was just looking around for stuff, and I looked for a while and never found anything I liked. A lot of the zero sugar stuff is always kind of weird tasting to me or whatever, so just kind of knew a couple of the right people to kind of ask the right questions to, and got enough going, and then about the time I spent just enough money I couldn't back out, it was COVID, and so then we had a lot of time to really overthink it all, and led me down a few better roads, and realized how much kids were lacking for kind of the same general thing, and just some other other demographics that needed something similar to what I was, and never really thought it would be something that was a lifestyle change or anything like that. It was just trying to chase something that tasted a little better than the alternatives. So it's been kind of a blessing, in disguise overall, but couldn't be happier with how it's gone so far.
When I saw your driver, Logan Seavey, hoist that Victory Fuel can in turn 3 as he stopped on the racetrack to celebrate with you before going to Victory Lane at his first Chili Bowl victory, I was like, man, I'd like to get some of that. What's been the reaction since then, and what's been the reaction at the racetrack with Victory Fuel now getting a larger distribution in the last several years?
Yeah, it's been huge. We've done most of this, just through racetracks, and a lot of our sales and exposure and things is through race teams or drivers or these racetracks and series and things. So a lot of places have just come out of the woodwork and wanted to do things, and I think it's something that there's so many different ways to kind of intermingle it within a racetrack environment, and what we do being kind of the blend between marketing and sports, that it's a little different in our world. So but yeah, I mean, winning that first Chili Bowl with it kind of opening that was couldn't have asked for anything better in that moment than getting us off the ground, and then coming back with another flavor and doing it again was huge. So Yeah, just been really lucky in that regard of where we've done some things have worked out with some success on the racetrack too, and it's been a lot of fun.
And it's growing. I know it's in retail stores. There's 2 Hy-Vee stores in Madison, 1 in Green Bay. You can get that at a retail location, but I imagine there's a lot of to the doorstep through drinkvictory.com, the website. How's that been going?
Yeah, I mean, that's the majority of it. Outside of like concession stands at the racetracks, or just people running around selling it at random places, or some people out of the back of their trailers. So the Hy-Vee thing's been great. I've probably talked to them for almost a year, and we've kind of just not really been in a great spot. I felt like to do it and feel like I could fulfill it if I needed to. So kind of got to that place now, and they've gotten going a little bit, and one kind of snowballs into some credibility for others and things. So excited for where we're going to go from here, because I feel like now I can just go to some of these different places and say, Hy-Vee tried, how about you? So that's exciting, as well as just heck, it's still raining everywhere racetrack wise, so we haven't even got to the beginning of what we've done with tracks and drivers and series and teams and stuff. So it's really looking forward to it.
Speaking with Kevin Swindell, we also have Austin Hanson with us. And Austin, you're a Victory Fuel ambassador. You're giving back, really, Kevin. You're saying, hey, if you want to be involved, there's a way for race teams to make money by working with Victory Fuel. This is pretty exciting for you guys, I'm thinking, on the regional level for you.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's kind of cool to be able to do something with a company like that supports racing and help us along the way, too. We'll help them, they'll help us, and it's a cool thing to do and experiment with.
Now, we mentioned the website, drinkvictory.com, and Austin Hanson, you got your own code, right? So people can go buy it at drinkvictory.com. What's your code so people can actually save money and support your team at the same time?
Yep, so when you go to the website, use promo code HMS11 at checkout for 10% off, and that should get you the deal and then help us out along the way, too.
And I just got my text today, Lucky Lemon's on sale. If you want a 12-pack, it's on sale, Kevin. I don't know if you put that one out or not, but it's one of the great flavors you have, and it's got to be neat knowing that you're about to approach a very busy schedule, Austin. And a lot of people are going to find out about a Victory Fuel with you, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's awesome. It's cool.
Where are y'all going to race this year?
We actually are going to a couple new tracks this year with the wingless. So we're doing the full wingless schedule. A lot of Wilmot. We're going to Beaver Dam this year. Sycamore again. I'm blanking on some of the other ones, but we're going to some new tracks. Cedar Lake, the Hill up north. So it'll be a fun year. Pretty busy one.
A lot of wingless sprint car racing for you. Kevin, that's right in your wheelhouse. You got a couple of midgets without wings on them. I know you love anything that has 4 wheels. What's your schedule going to be this year, Kevin?
Yeah, I don't know. We've, with the wing side of stuff, we really ran into a driver shortage almost to some extent. And
I got one right here.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is that the non-wing guys, it just takes some time. You know what I mean? Even like with Logan, we've kind of done the same thing and tried to be careful of taking him and putting him in a bad spot. But, I know from personal experience that I spent like 3 years of a period of my career where I just ran non-wing cars. And then it took 6-8 races at a place like a Knoxville or something to get like your pacing back. It's very odd, and I think people underestimate that a lot of the time in trying to grab these guys up and then expecting so much out of them. And it's you definitely got to be careful with that, because it's guys will say they can do it, and there's guys that can get qualified sometimes and run wide open. And even Logan will tell you he went and ran McGee's car a couple years ago at Eldora, and he qualified really good, but as soon as it comes to cars around you, it's a whole different ball game. So yeah, that's the hardest part, is just finding guys to drive. I'm hopefully Logan will run some. I think I might get the midget out before Chili Bowl once, maybe. That would be good, just to learn some more on those new tires. But I don't know what we're gonna race. I'm enjoying being more of a business owner and not a race team owner for once.
There's a lot going on in the world. Kevin Swindell, thank you for joining us. Austin Hanson, thank you for joining us on the show.
For having me.
We'll be right back. And we'll continue, because TV's over with now. That was pretty exciting. I almost got it 7 minutes exactly. Kevin, this is exciting having you here. And I know that you get a lot of people asking a lot of things, but I want to go way back to where you were getting your midget ready. You and your dad were working on different stuff. You had Tim Bertrand, I think it was a motor that he kind of came through with from Massachusetts, from the Northeast, to somehow make that magical word click for you with Logan Seavey getting the return to your car. But, man, you guys were lights out when you guys won your first Chili Bowl. How'd that come together with his involvement, Tim Bertrand?
Yeah, I'd known Tim, a little bit from years. My dad had gone up there to the Northeast and run those pavement, the wing cars, midgets with him. So we had a little bit of a relationship, and he had been kind of a motor supplier for dad's cars off and on through the years, and more specifically after I got hurt. But yeah, just kind of felt like I wanted to go down my own road of some of the things that I wanted to do, and we didn't really see eye to eye leaving that year. Me and Dad did on some things, and so just kind of went to him, and he had motors, which that's 40 grand that you got to find. Basically, either you got to pay for it or somebody's got to give it to you, and most of these guys don't really rent them for the most part. So that was the biggest piece, but ultimately he came on for a big hunk of the car too, so he's basically just ultimately a co-owner. But actually he was texting me before the show, and we just sold that motor that's been in it and gonna upgrade to a brand new one this year. That one's actually one that he had bought used, so it had some just tiny little gremlins that we were more worried that we'd kick ourselves if we go back and it does something silly. So time to just send it down.
And you've got other people that are wanting to be part of what you have going on, including Victory Fuel, drivers like Austin Hansen. How do you end up selecting or going through the process of having ambassadors come to you and say, hey, our drivers or teams, or how they want to help represent your brand, or, hey, Kevin, we got a bunch of money, can we go racing with you? How do you filter all that through everything else that's going on?
Yeah, no, it's been a million different requests, and I get now stuff from, I think I sent Joe something the other day. It was New York Fashion Week. Wanted us to sponsor something. I get stuff from talent agencies for athletes and guys that play video games. Like, I've got a million things coming in, and probably the biggest thing was I kind of committed to I was just never going to not reply. I was even if I said no, I hated that about my side of being on it and sending out sponsor packs and nothing ever coming back of it. And you put some effort into that. The least somebody can do is say, this is what we do, or stay in touch, or, something. So, we just tried to keep up with everything. But early on, we did a lot of that as like, maybe people will do this. And then as it went, it was like, whoa, we got to like actually put some criteria and some like forms to this to make sure, because it started a rush of people all of a sudden. And there's always some of those that kind of just, come in and want the package you'll send them and not so much to do anything with it. So we had to be a little bit careful as we went. And, we've got some great people through this and have basically hired some people more or less along the way as like salespeople in some random regions and different things. So, that's a lot of the reason why I just, always try to have a conversation with somebody who at least takes their time to reach out, is because you never really know where there could be a link somewhere else, and some person could ask for money for their street stock and turns in they know to the guy that buys all the drinks for Casey's or something. So try to leave no stone unturned. But guys like Austin and all these stuff's been great so far, and they've gone above and beyond, and that's just made us want to do more.
And I'm sure, Austin, you feel challenged as well. You want to do something in return. You're going to probably send Kevin your updates. You're going to have the efforts of saying, hey, I want to make sure he knows how we're representing him, we're racing, how we're doing things. How is that up the game for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. We're planning on at the track each week having it in the cooler, selling it out of the trailer, stuff like that. Of course, the promo code I've been telling people like that like crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to kind of help them push it out there and see how far we can make it go.
And Kevin, how do you consume all this now? As a race fan, as a business owner, how are you saying, okay, I got to find out what Austin did, or Austin's going to send me something, I hope, so I know I can keep track of that. But on a weekend, I'm guessing there's probably 30, 40, 50 different places you can watch your guys go in circles, I'm guessing, right? So how are you handling all that and managing that?
It's honestly, you almost can't in a way. I think, I watch, everything I can get my hands on as far as the streaming side of stuff comes. And, it's like a blessing in disguise all this time of like, there's a car with the sticker that pops up that I didn't even know was, going to be there that night, or, something moves over and there sits a car with it for, during a yellow or something, and you're getting free advertising out of it. And it's like, I barely even, recognize some of these things, but it's just, it's great. We've tried to give back the best we can. And, ultimately it was like a place of, as a kid, it's like Oakley and things like that were so cool, and kind of Red Bull even. But, you always wanted those things to be attached to you. I would have given anything for Oakley to send me a pair of sunglasses, and I would have put stickers everywhere, right? And that was kind of, how we went about this, was just like, I hope that a can and maybe a T-shirt and a couple things will bring that kind of little bit of boost to a kid, like they got a sponsor, and give them that drive to go do more or make a bigger effort in all of it or keep going, whatever it may be. So, that part of it's been just a ton of fun to see and just know that, we're kind of bringing a platform to some places and corners of the racing world that people weren't paying that much attention to. And, if anything, if we can just keep, short track racing alive in general, I think that's, such a big piece of just the economy in general. Like it's needed for our world, and it's such a great, place to go on a weekend that, we can't lose those places.
Very well said. Very well said. We're here in Wisconsin to hang out on the Racing Roundup show with Kevin Swindell. We also have Austin Hanson. Austin, you got a busy schedule. What is part of your plan? Who's part of your marketing efforts along with Victory Fuel this year on your race car?
Yeah, so first of all, we have Forberg Smith, processing solutions company in the commercial and industrial industry. We have Zupano's Restaurante and Pizzeria in Burlington, Wisconsin, Endress and Hauser, Theodore Brothers, Custom Woodworking from Gurney, and then of course Victory Fuel. So we've got a lot of partners that help us keep this thing going so we can have some fun on the weekends.
And your brother raced. What were you doing when he was racing? Because he's not racing and you are now.
Yeah, so when he was racing, I was helping with the tires, pit crew, just learning as much as I could at that time because I knew in the back of my head I was trying to get in one of these things. So yeah, the whole time I was scheming. So I was learning a lot, trying to help him out, help my dad out, all that. It was a lot of fun. So once I actually got in the seat, my brother actually got a job as a police officer, so that kind of made him take a step back from racing. So now it's just me, my dad, a couple of our friends when they can show up, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend a Saturday anywhere else.
And Austin Hanson, you also told me at the as we're pushing cars out at the end of the Custom Auto Show here at the State Fairgrounds in January, you said, hey, I might be doing some wing racing, might be doing some other racing.
Yeah.
What else is on the docket if all things go to plan?
We might be doing a little wing racing at Wilmot with that new series going on there. We'll see how the schedule's going. That's still up in the air, but we'll see how the year's going. We might throw some wings on for a night or two. We'll see.
I'm guessing what? You got a midget ride every now and then? Maybe, you don't race much on Sundays, go to Sun Prairie, hang out. Yeah?
That would be cool.
Who else is involved with your deal? You mentioned your dad and a couple buddies. It's got to be neat knowing that shop night is you and your dad, kind of?
Yeah, me, my dad, Ryan Mansky, guys like that, just friends, anybody who wants to help, really. Just having some fun. It's kind of a family deal, so it's a lot of fun.
What's on the first couple of rows of that short list you want to accomplish early in the season here as things get rolling here
early
in the
season, definitely a couple of top 10s right away. Our main goal for the year is top 10 in points, so that's what we're shooting for. Just early success. We ended last year with a bang. We were doing really well last year at the end of the year, so we're trying to pick up right where we left off and keep it moving.
Where can we find your code again? drinkvictory.com.
Yep.
What's the code to put in to check out and save 10%?
Code HMS11 at checkout for 10%.
All right. And anywhere else we can find you on socials? Where can we keep track of you?
Facebook, Hanson Motorsports, also Austin Hanson. That's about it.
Last name spelled Hansen. Thanks, Mike, your dad, for helping us out here. We got some Victory Fuel to give away to some of the crowd here tonight in our live audience. How about a big hand for Kevin Swindell and Austin Hanson for joining us. Guys, thanks for both being part of our show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you very much. Victory Fuel is a cool, delicious flavor, tropical throttle punch as well as Lucky Lemon. They're both right here represented. I like the throttle punch myself. I had a Lucky Lemon. I can't tell you how much I like it because you got to buy it. It's got HMS11 as the code you want to do at drinkvictory.com. We have our code as well, but more importantly, helping out racers is what Kevin's doing and what we're doing as well on the show. We'll be right back with more on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need 3 things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For 35 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emission testing, tires, and complete auto, truck, and SUV repair. From oil changes to transmission replacement. 414-761-3250 to schedule your free inspection appointment. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th in Drexel to the experts at Oak Creek Automotive.
Grassroots drag racing is open to everyone at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove. Make GLD your home track. Come and enjoy the show or challenge your friends to be part of the show. Bracket racing for all classes and juniors opens this weekend. Pro classes, street classes, and even bikes and sled classes. Check our website for the most updated calendar and upcoming big shows. GreatLakesDragaway.com.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd. Now, let's get back to our host, the trackside voice of the Daytona 500, co-anchor of MidwestTour.tv coverage, and co-anchor of the ASA Stars National Tour coverage on TrackTV.com and MAV TV. Once again, Jim Trado.
Thanks again for being part of our program. It's the 40th season of our show. If you want to check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, we have our schedule on there. The address for the Waukegan Harbor Marina is 55 Marine Circle. You can find that on our website, on our schedule page, upcoming shows, upcoming guests. We got a lot for you. It's an action-packed season. Looking forward to having you join us on a Tuesday night here at Polly's or wherever we may go. This Saturday is our first D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow of 2024. This portion of our show is brought to you by Allied Resource Recovery. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today. ARR has locations in West Allis and Waukesha. Find the full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. That's the year they started. It's been a long time for the Rayberg family to be involved. ARR1938.com to find out the list of accepted materials. I went a couple weeks ago, walked in with aluminum cans, walked out with cash. It was pretty easy, pretty fun. And it's easy to do, and you know it's going to be good for the environment as well. Hey, Bill Holland was in Wisconsin Dells for the Icebreaker season opener. I was there as well. It was an awesome time. It featured 3 divisions of racing on the 3rd mile of Dells Raceway Park. It's now time to take you and Bill Holland's In the Groove segment on the show.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Dells Raceway Park, where we have perfect weather conditions and a stout field of cars and drivers for the first super late model special of the season, the Icebreaker 100. The Icebreaker is part of the Alive for 5 Super Late Model Series. 2-time defending Alive for 5 champ Luke Fenhouse won this race 3 years ago.
Won the Alive for 5 championship here. That was a big deal. And then won Slinger Nationals, won the Kawiki Development Program, won the Slinger Speedway Championship, won Rookie of the Year, Midwest Tour. So it was just a big year.
ASA Midwest Tour champ Gabe Summers won the Alive for 5 in 2022 and battled Fenhouse down to the wire last year.
That was really big to get a championship here. There's a lot of great competition, a lot of cars, always a good car count. So be able to get a championship here means a lot.
3-time Midwest Tour champ Casey Johnson missed nearly all of last season, but won the season finale here in October.
It did a lot, you know, you just never know when you're sitting that long and you're just watching, you know, if your program's falling behind, if you're falling behind, but I mean, I knew my equipment was always plenty good to win, so it was nice to get back out here and, you know, do what it's supposed to do.
The fans are here early, just what drivers like defending Icebreaker champ Ryan Farrell are hoping for.
And when a crowd looks like that, and we're not even a super light qualifying yet, it's going to be a good day. I think there's going to be a lot of people here, and hopefully they go to Slinger next week and keep on following to the Joe Shear in a few weeks. And I want to see that all the time, man. This is great.
In qualifying, it's Gabe Summers setting fast time. Luke Fenhouse does not make the show on time, racing his way into the icebreaker by winning the first qualifying heat. The second qualifier goes to another Wausau racer, State Park Speedway champion Brock Heinrich, making his way into the show. The last chance race is exactly that, and Palos Park, Illinois young gun James Lynch will wheel the 76 to the checkers. Our Icebreaker 100 field is set. Our first feature on the day is the 602 Outlaw Late Models. This class originated right here at Dells Raceway Park, and it's grown to where we have 24 Outlaws at DRP today. Up front, a pair of veterans. John Lemke in the 71 out of Savage, Minnesota. Pete Moore second in the 76. Both of our leaders raced late models in the old Artgo Challenge Series back in the 90s. Dennis Prunty in the 42 challenging Moore for the second spot. And Prunty goes around coming out of turn 4. Back to green flag racing. And John Lemke will lead this one from the first lap to the checkers. Lemke in the 71-year winner in the 602 Outlaw Late Models.
Pete Moore has been really good here the last couple of years, actually, so I'm glad we had a good, clean race, and we were fast since we unloaded, so that felt good, you know, and at the end of the day, we came home with the victory, so I'm proud of my guys. We all worked hard, and that's what we want at the end of the day.
The Midwest Truck Series also part of the program. Series owner John Wood hoping for a big year in 2024.
Every year we've been growing and growing, and same thing this year. Today was phenomenal. We had such a good truck count, and it's great, and I love it, and I appreciate all the teams coming to race with me.
The truckers will go green for 50 laps in their main event. Brad J.J. Miller in the 89. Aaron Moyer in the 140, leading the way from the front row. It's Moyer with the early lead. He's out of Hartford, Wisconsin. Up to second, Chester Ace in the 93 truck. Ace is a past winner of this event, and he's on the move today. Moyer hanging tough up front. He's not giving up the lead without a fight. Aaron Moyer on the high side. Ace down low. And Chester Ace works his way past Moyer's 140 to take over the top spot. And we've got another real battle from third on back. Brad Mueller, James Swan side by side. Fast qualifier Jacob Nottestad. Nick Van in the 84. Kevin Knese in the 33. Brandon Reichenberger all right there. Mueller and Swan get together in the corner. And trouble for Swan's 97 truck. Caution, and the 6-time defending series champion is out of the race. We'll have a restart with 6 laps to go. This gives the field another shot at chasing down Chester Ace, but that's not going to be easy. The 93 has been strong all day long, and Ace has won his share of close races in this series over the years. Last lap, and Jacob Nottestad is up to second, but it's the Johnny Ziegler-inspired black and green 93 taking the checkers. Chester Ace, your winner in the Midwest Truck Series.
Competition in the Truck Series is just getting better and better and better every year. We got Nottestad, Swan, Moyer's in here, Bryce Miller. I mean, just everybody just makes a heck of a show. Brad Mueller. Yeah, we weren't given this one, but I'm glad we came out on top.
Jordan DeVoy in the 38 and Jeff Storms 25 up front as we come to green for the first of 100 laps in the 2024 Icebreaker. DeVoy with the early lead. He won this race 2 years ago. Jordan DeVoy and Casey Johnson in the 5. Johnson, the 3-time Midwest Tour champ and 4-time Tundra Series king, making the pass for the lead. Rich Bickle was running in the top 10, but he's got a mechanical issue, out on lap 25. Our leaders in traffic, Casey Johnson putting some good cars a lap down. And we are under caution. Jordan DeVoy with big damage after hitting oil from Gabe Summers' blown engine. 2 contenders out before the halfway mark. Back to green flag racing with the veteran Casey Johnson and the 15-year-old Ty Fredrickson up front bringing the field up to speed. Johnson missed nearly all of last season, but won the Alive for 5 finale here and looks very strong today. Fredrickson, son of two-time Midwest Tour champ Dan Fredrickson, in his second year racing super late models. Right now, Johnson, Fredrickson, John DeAngelis Jr., and Ryan Farrell, the top 4. And caution, Jeff Storm with damage 66 laps in. Casey Johnson and Ty Fredrickson will continue their battle for the lead. And look at this, Ty Fredrickson making the high side work. He takes the lead from Casey Johnson. Who expected this? Ty Fredrickson chasing that first big win at age 15. Casey Johnson fighting to come back from medical issues that cost him nearly all of last season. And Ryan Farrell, who started this race back in 24th place. Farrell may be the fastest car on the track. He's got it going on the high side. Ryan Farrell with the lead. Fredrickson, Johnson, DeAngelis, and Max Kaler battling for 4th in contact. Johnny D goes around. Caution with 6 laps to go. Ryan Farrell and Ty Fredrickson bring the field to green. Farrell down low, Fredrickson on the high side. Johnson, Dalton Sayre, Luke Fenhouse, your top 5 as we get ready to settle it. And it's Ty Fredrickson putting the 36 out front. Farrell back to 2nd. Johnson, Sayre, and Fenhouse all battling. But this day belongs to Ty Fredrickson, the 15-year-old first to the checkers in the Icebreaker 100.
We really fired off really well, and then qualified pretty good. And our race speed was probably one of the fastest, and then couldn't really drive under somebody on the straightaway. So when the yellows came out, I had to use that chance on the outside to make it work.
What a day for Ty Fredrickson, who just turned 15, and what a way to start the racing season here in Wisconsin. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who makes our program possible. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
Yeah, you bet. That was a great report. Thank you, Bill. I had a great time at Dells Raceway Park. Congrats to Jerry Aubie and his crew for a great event. Great sun-drenched crowd. That was really a lot of fun to racing, and hope you got a great glimpse of that. If you want to be a part of Bill Holland's In the Groove segment, you can drop us a note at racingroundup@gmail.com. We'd love to have you involved as a sponsor in the program. That was an impressive charge by Adams Towing and Oak Creek Automotive sponsored Ryan Farrell to go from 24th to that outside run. Man, that last restart, if he had to the green, we'd be talking about Ryan Farrell winning that race. But Ty Fredrickson qualified 2nd. Man, did he have a good race car, and a lot of cars he had to beat, including Casey Johnson for the victory. So that's the first Polish victory lap for the 7 finalists in the Quickie Driver Development Program. And I had some video that I ended up giving to Tom Roberts, who runs the KDDP, and he ended up sharing it with the socials. All about building this program, all about getting short track racers' involvement and awareness for that national program that in honor of West Allis native Alan Kowicki, who's the only NASCAR champion that was an engineer by degree from UW-Milwaukee. So a lot of Wisconsin ties. Fredrickson from Minnesota certainly representing as one of the 7 finalists this year in a big way. We'll have other finalists on this program, including Max Kaler in the next coming weeks. He's also a KDDP driver, as well as Levon Vandergeest. It's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. For cameras and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, custom-made security doors, on-call locksmith, and a lot more. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling them at this number, 262-790-9400, or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. Wisconsin resident and Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup sponsored Bill Baylog led lap 1 from the second row starting spot. Ran 2nd to eventual race winner Donnie Schatz on Saturday night for the next 25 laps, and finished 4th in the World of Outlaws action, his best results of the season. Finish order was Schatz, Carson Macedo, Buddy Kofoid, then Baylog. Mike Mullen won the Wabam Dirt Kings Tour season opener Saturday night at Shawano Speedway. Gunnar Frank, Andy Carl, defending Tour champ Nick Envelink, and Justin Ritchie completed the top 5. 18-year-old Corey Day, that's the next name to think about and listen about, because he scored his breakthrough first victory in high-limit sprint car racing Sunday night in Crandall, Texas. He's racing tonight in a car that's owned by Brian Clausen's dad, among the other teams. So he's got a couple of 14s he's racing with this year. Day passed Brad Sweet in the other ride he's got for 4th on lap 19. This is a 35-lap race. Day passed Brad Sweet for 4th on lap 19, then picked him off 10 laps later. He goes on to win, pulling away from Kerry Matson, who finished 2nd in the 35-lapper ahead of Shark Racing's Jacob Allen. This Saturday, April 20th, is the Spring Trifecta. I'd like to remind you again at Beaver Dam Raceway. All 3 divisions are racing. Keep an eye on the socials in case they move the schedule up. Supposed to race at 5:30. Might be a little sooner. Wabam Dirt Kings, AFS Badger Midgets, and the bumper-to-bumper IR Outlaw Sprints are all racing this Saturday. Gates open at 3:30, racing at 5:30. That all might move a little bit, so keep an eye on the IRA's Facebook page as well as Beaver Dam's social presence as well. If you didn't know about it, we'll be there this Sunday. Slinger Super Speedway has their first race of the season. It's the Jerry Priesker Memorial. It features the ASA Midwest Tour and the super late models that are going to race at Slinger. It's points only, show-up points for those guys, but there's 40 on the entry list. 5 divisions of racing this Sunday. I'll be there with Dean on the live stream for MidwestTour.tv and TrackTV.com. We want you there. We want you to subscribe, of course. You can watch the races at any time you want. You can watch archives in the last 3 years. We want you to buy a ticket and join us at Slinger Super Speedway. Qualifying is at noon, racing at 2 p.m., 5 divisions of racing. Our Slinger coverage this season is brought to you by Ricardo's Pizza, located in downtown Greendale since 1970. Ricardo's is owned by racer Richie Locke and his family. Ricardo's Pizza takes pride in their dough-made fresh deli, fresh produce, signature sauce, and the best Wisconsin cheeses. Order the best at ricardosgreendale.com. CK Contractors brings us the CK Contractors LLC.com, brings us the Wilmot Raceway coverage. Hire the professionals at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavating, and grading, retention pond building, and more. Opening night, I guess Mike Babbitt's mentioned earlier, is Saturday, May 4th with the bumper-to-bumper Air Outlaw Sprints, Wisconsin Wingless, Modifieds, and Bandits. More information at wilmotraceway.com. Back with a few more tidbits for you before we turn you loose here tonight on a Tuesday night on the Racing Roundup Show. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
For your next purge or project, go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver and Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938. Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup program on this Tuesday evening. We'd like to thank our friends at Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Lennon. I stopped by there this week. They've got a lot going on repairing daily drivers, repairing a truck when I was in there as well, getting a new fender and a new grill on there on a pickup truck. They also had a couple of classic cars in the back they're working on that's meticulously restored. I'm telling you, these cars will be show quality when they're done with them. Since 1974, 4 generations of racers have been getting it done the right way. They work with all insurance companies. Search Schlafer Auto Body Sales on Facebook to get in touch with this family of racers and check out their latest award-winning classic car restoration projects. You can catch the show on demand by visiting our website, racingroundupshow.com. You can tune in this Saturday. Another reminder, parts of our show on Tuesday tonight will be on CW18 Milwaukee this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Looking forward to continuing to build that audience and having more people come to the racetrack and support us. I want to thank our guests for being on tonight. We want to thank Steve Sinclair, Kevin Swindell, and Austin Hansen. Let's give them a big hand for being here tonight in person. Cool race car out here. Thank you, Austin, a lot. Let's give them a big hand for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Babbitts, as well, for being here with Kathy. Big show this Saturday. Thank you guys for being part of the program. Next Tuesday night, April 23rd, our guests will include World of Outlaws Sprint Car full-timer Bill Baylog. He'll be here in person. He might even bring some Anderson maple syrup with him. Looking forward to seeing Bill Baylog in one of his few appearances in his busy schedule to join us here on the set at Polly's next Tuesday night. So spend some time telling folks about that and sharing our show on Facebook and liking our show on Facebook. We'll get you up to speed there. Madison International Speedway co-owner and promoter of the Joe Shear Classic coming to MIS on Sunday, May 5th. Greg McCarnes will be here next week as well. Slinger Super Late Model Rookie campaigner Simon Seifert is going to be here. He had some track time last weekend. He's going to be racing this coming Sunday. We'll talk to him about the big race, the Jerry Priestley Memorial, this coming Sunday at Slinger Super Speedway. It's an afternoon show. And from Automatic Transmission Design, our friend and the man in charge, Charlie McCormick, is joining us on our program. We'll have more information about our show and upcoming shows. We've got a lot of things planned for you and in store. We certainly want you to check our website and social channels for updates. And like our show on Facebook. Our @Racing Roundup is where we're on Twitter and Instagram, now called X. We enjoy it every week. And we really want you to support the sponsors. They're on every one of our home pages, our web pages. On the bottom, we've got scrolling sponsors there. We want to make sure you lock in, click on those logos, and support the businesses that make this show and short track racing happen. We'll see you this Saturday for our first D'Angelo's Construction Road Show. It's going to be at the Waukegan Harbor Marina for the 44th Bars Let's Go Racing Motorsports and Custom Car Show. We're on the air live at 11 a.m. The car show goes 11 to 4. If you want to get there early, come on down and help clean things up on Earth Day as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be live on our show at 11 a.m. this coming Saturday, live with a bunch of racers hanging out and custom cars to look at and ogle and have some fun with you there. Big thanks to our show sponsors for making this show possible. Thanks to our show crew, Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Dean Strom, Sam Trado, Sherry Prague, Mark Goodman, Bruce Blodgett, and thank you, Faye Hendricks, for always being here to help us with the photos and do whatever we can to make sure we have a lot of fun with some giveaways after the show. So until next week, Tuesday, have at it, racers.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember to tell your friends and watch our 30-minute TV show on Milwaukee's CW18 this Saturday morning at 11:30. Like our show on Facebook, follow and interact with us on X and Instagram @Racing Roundup. Join the racing crowd at our live show and win prizes. For our latest show schedule and to watch all of our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, on behalf of our entire crew, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks, set your DVRs, and have at it, racers.